Grief has a way of distorting time. Some days it feels like my wife has been gone forever. Other days I still expect her to walk through the front door, keys jangling, humming whatever song had been stuck in her head. Her name was Emily. She was 45 when cancer took her, and I was 48. We had been married 22 years, together since college. Our love wasn't perfect. It was messy, loud at times, quiet at others, but it was ours. It was the constant hum beneath everything else in my life. I remember the last morning clearly, though I wish I didn't. She woke before me, as she often did. Her body was frail by then, but she insisted on making coffee, insisted on pretending life was normal. I came downstairs and found her at the counter, the smell of brewed coffee filling the air. She looked so small in her robe, but when she turned and smiled at me, for a moment I could almost forget the disease eating her from the inside. We sat at the kitchen table. She held my hand and said, "Promise me you'll keep living, even when I'm gone." I hated that sentence. Hated how final it sounded. I told her not to talk like that. She just squeezed my hand harder. By noon, she was in bed, too weak to get up. The hospice nurse arrived, adjusted her medication, whispered to me that it won't be long now. I nodded as if I understood, but inside I was screaming. Around 3 a.m. the next morning, Emily stirred. She looked at me with half-lidded eyes and whispered, "You were my home." Then she slipped back into sleep she never woke from. That was the last time I heard her voice. The days after her death blurred. Funeral arrangements, sympathy cards, casseroles from neighbors. People told me to be strong, as if strength was a coat I could put on and wear to survive. But strength didn't keep me company in the empty bed. It didn't answer when I called her name out loud just to hear the sound of it. I found her scarf on the back of the chair one morning and pressed it to my face, desperate for the trace of her perfume. I kept her voicemail on my phone and listened to it until the words wore grooves in my heart. "Hey, it's me, just calling to say I'll be late. Love you." Simple, ordinary. Now it's the most precious relic I own. Friends tried to help. They invited me out, offered distraction. But crowds felt suffocating, and laughter felt like betrayal. My kids, grown, with families of their own, checked in often. They were grieving too, but I felt guilty leaning on them when they were carrying their own weight. Months passed. Seasons changed. I kept going through the motions, work, errands, bills, but inside I was hollow. At night I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of our marriage. The vacations, the fights, the quiet Sunday mornings. I wondered if I had appreciated her enough, if she knew how much she meant to me. The guilt pressed down heavier than the grief at times. The house itself became a museum of our life. Her books still lined the shelves. Her favorite mug stayed in the cabinet. Her handwriting remained on sticky notes she'd left on the fridge. I couldn't bring myself to move anything. As if preserving her things could somehow preserve her. But time doesn't negotiate. It drags you forward whether you're ready or not. People say grief softens, but that's not quite true. It doesn't soften, it settles. It becomes part of you, a second skin you never asked for but can't shed. It's been a year now. I still talk to her when I pour coffee in the morning. I still kiss her photo before leaving the house. I've learned how to function again, but I haven't learned how to fill the silence. The chair at the kitchen table is still hers. Some nights, I catch myself glancing at it, expecting her to sit down with that tired smile of hers. But it stays empty. Always empty. People tell me I should start dating again. That Emily would want me to be happy. Maybe they're right. But I can't imagine holding another hand at the same table where she once told me I was her home. The truth is, she was my home. And without her, I'm still wandering. That last morning, her smile, her words, plays on repeat in my mind. It hurts, but it's also the closest thing I have left. And so I hold on to it. Because sometimes the only way to keep living is to cling to the memory of the voice you lost, even when it breaks you.